Hey guys, it's Connor, and today we're going to talk about a very low budget lighting kit that you can use for your photo or your video work. But first, let me show you a little bit of what you can do with that lighting kit. Now, lighting is what's going to make or break your image, in my opinion. I think it's the biggest difference between something that looks professional and has lots of depth to it and something that looks really amateurish and really flat. And that's why lighting can get really expensive, because it's so important. I didn't have a lot of money to throw at lighting when I was starting out, so I put together this really cheap DIY kind of kit. And believe it or not, I still use it to this day to augment the nicer lighting that I've bought since then. With this kit, I wanted to make sure that you get 3 lights so that you can do 3-point lighting as a good place to start. I've also got 2 different types of bulbs for each fixture. One is going to be a softer light and one's going to be more of a spotlight or a floodlight, so you get 2 different qualities of light. Lastly, you're going to get a bunch of colored gels so that you have some flexibility with the color of your lights. The center of our lighting kit is 3 of these fixtures. These fixtures are called clamp lights or work lights, sometimes known as can lights as well. It kind of depends on where you go. But you can get these for around $10 or $15 each, and they go up to about 150 watts for that price, which is pretty decent output, especially when you've got 3 of them going. The big plus with these is that you can remove the bulb, so you can use different types of bulbs, different color temperatures, things like that. So you've got a lot of versatility, even though you're only spending a little bit of money. The other really major selling point for me was the way that you mount these lights. They come with a clamp on them. So you can mount them on bookshelves, on chairs, on light stands. You can literally put them anywhere. And sometimes when I need a light in a really tight or inconvenient place, I just reach for one of these because it's just so easy and so versatile. You can use any type of light bulb you want in those fixtures, but I'm only going to be using LED bulbs for this entire kit. And there's a few reasons for that. The first is that they just run a lot cooler, so I can have 4 of these right up against a subject and they're not going to be sweating and really uncomfortable under those lights. The other nice perk is that they don't have a very high power draw, so you can put a lot of them on the same circuit and you're not going to have to worry about how much power you're using. Lastly, they last for tens of thousands of hours, and I actually sat down and did the math and I realized I'm probably not going to have to replace these bulbs in my lifetime. And if I do, it's not a big investment, so it's really not that big of a deal. I bought 2 different styles of light bulbs for these fixtures, and the first is frosted glass, which kind of acts like diffusion, and it's going to provide this really nice soft quality of light. It's really good for portrait photography, more beauty work, or commercial work. The other is a floodlight or a spotlight. It's got much harsher shadows, harsher light quality. It's really good for more dramatic stuff, and you can mix and match these between your different fixtures for different overall lighting effects. The last part of this kit, and also the cheapest part, is going to be these colored gels, just to give you a little bit more flexibility without having to buy colored light bulbs, which can be a lot more expensive and finicky. You're looking at anywhere between $2 to $5 for a roll of this, and it's a huge roll that's going to last you a while. You can get these at Walmart or any arts and crafts store really easily. This is a great way to just add little accents of color to make an image more dynamic and give it more depth. And as you've probably guessed already, yes, this is exactly what I'm using behind me in all of my videos. It's these same gels with these same light bulbs and these same fixtures. I put this whole kit at $125, but I got mine for $100, and you can realistically get it for probably as low as around $80 if you really take your time and shop around. If there's anything that you should kind of take your time looking for and shop around with, it's going to be the fixtures themselves, because the first place I went to wanted $40 for them and they were only about 75 watts, and then the second place I went to had it for half the price, but they had double the output. These are the center of your lighting kit, so I'd make sure you get really nice ones that feel like they're a good build quality and they have at least an output of 100 watts, if not 150. Now, it's pretty obvious that if you're spending $100 or $125 on your entire lighting kit, that you're going to have to make some sacrifices. And the 2 big sacrifices here are with color and with your overall light output. These 3 small lights are not going to be able to fill a warehouse or a giant gymnasium or anything like that. But if you're starting out in your career and you can only spend $100 on lights, chances are you're not filming at these giant locations anyways. On the off chance that early in your career you have the opportunity to shoot at a large space like that, this kit is still going to be handy because you can use this for things like hair lights or eye lights or little accent lights in the background, and you can save your money to rent just your really large key light or your background fill light or something like that. You can still cut back on how much you have to spend renting gear by using a kit like this. If you're buying nice high quality light bulbs, color is not something you're going to need to worry about. But if you're on a budget and you kind of need to cut some corners so you get the cheap bulbs, you might find that your image is overall tinted a little bit green. This is not the end of the world, and it's something that's very easy to fix in post, and I've actually even done a video on that if you want to check it out. But it's something to consider, especially if you plan on mixing your lights with some nicer quality lights that do have better color. The reason for this is when you go to fix your green tint by adding a little bit of pink into the image, you'll be fixing your lights, but the lights that were already fine to begin with will now start to tint pink. You're never going to get consistent and accurate colors if you're mixing low quality bulbs and high quality bulbs. So just make sure that you buy lights with a very high CRI rating, and you shouldn't run into any issues. At some point in your career, you're going to want bigger lights with higher output and more options and all that, and that's great. But even when I've started to get to that point, I still never really outgrow this kit, because if I can't get a light stand in a really awkward place, I've got these lights. If I need something that I can just throw in a backpack and that's all I can carry somewhere, this is exactly what I reach for. There's so many perks to this kit that I just can't have in my larger, more professional, heavy-duty lights that I don't think I'm ever gonna outgrow using this kit, at least a little bit, every now and then on my shoots. There's no debating that there are much better lights out there, but when it comes to portability, flexibility, and affordability, this is absolutely worth your investment. Thank you guys so much for watching. I really appreciate it. If you have any questions, just let me know. And if you feel like this video has helped you out, I'd really appreciate you helping me out by liking and subscribing and sticking around for the next video.